Should President Obama be doing more to lead African American families out of poverty? Here's more from the President and Bill O'Reilly.
72% of babies in African American community are born out of wedlock now. Why isn't there a campaign by you and the First Lady to address that problem very explicitly?
Yeah. Actually, Bill, we address it explicitly all the time. I'll send you at least 10 speeches I've made since I've been president.
But our speech is enough. Former Congressman Alan West joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Absolutely. Great to be with you.
Very tough problem. Is it the whole problem of...
Sure.
I mean, is there anything that you expect the president to do?
Well, I mean, I think he should give it some attention. You just can't talk about it and think it's going to go away. But let's go back and look at the history of President Obama. In April 2009, he canceled the D.C. school voucher program right here for, deserving black children, but yet his children go to Sidwell Friends. So I think those actions speak about what he really feels about the black community. And understand this. You still have a black community, 85 to 87% that support the president. So he's got them in the bag. So why should he do anything? But you got to go back and remember it was President Johnson's policy of granting a check to young girls having children out of wedlock, and they continued to get the check as long as they didn't have any man that came into the house. So it was the policies of Lyndon Johnson that created this, and so we do need someone to come in and say we've got to turn it around in the black community. We've got to do something to restore the family, which can help to restore the community as a whole.
So how do you do that?
I think you have to, first of all, go into the community and you have to talk about responsibility of young men in the families. And you have to really start to stress education. When you look at the education statistics, it's horrific in the black community. But then another thing that we're not talking about is the teenage unemployment rate. So, that's almost 40% in these inner city black communities. So there are a multitude, a plethora of factors. The unemployment, the breakdown of the family, the lack of education, all of that comes together. And really what you're creating in the inner city, and I know that people are going to go apoplectic when I say this, but it's an economic dependency plantation which has been created in the inner cities. I mean, I see it when I go back to my old neighborhood in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia. The neighborhood that used to be on Auburn Avenue where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is buried, Ebenezer Baptist Church, is not the same street, not the same Auburn Avenue that I grew up with, and it's not the same.
Well, I think it takes a much bigger movement. I don't think President Obama can do it alone. I know that Coach Dungy, he has been counseling young men coming in sports. He was here last night. I mean, it really does take a huge number of people to do this, because these are horrible statistics.
He's a start point.
He's a start point. I agree, because he's president.
Yeah, he's president, and he's supposedly this role model, and he has to do more than speeches. He has to make it a determined effort, and it is about his policies. And I think that what you saw in the State of the Union address, what you saw in his interview with Bill O'Reilly, he's just a bystander to everything. He keeps talking about the economy and this and that. He is the cause of this. This is his economy. These are his policies, and he needs to take ownership.
I guess I always go back to the question, what do you do? And I guess to the extent that I guess if you're president and your policies are such that they are not advancing unemployment in certain areas like
Booker T. Washington had a three-pronged approach. He said education, entrepreneurship, self-reliance, and that is how you create strong families, a strong community, and that's the three-pronged approach we need to get back to.
Well, it's a terrible nagging problem for the nation and for the people who are going through it themselves. Congressman, nice to see you, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you, Greta.